Hey, what's up guys? Today I'm doing a review of the Danger Equipment Evolution 3.0 boxing gloves. So check it out. Hey, what's up guys? Carlo here. Today I'm doing a review of the Danger Equipment Evolution 3.0 tie style boxing gloves. I got mine in the green, gold, and purple colorway. 16 ounces. It only comes in Velcro. You can get this anywhere between 8 to 16 ounces with 3 colorways to choose from, which you can check out on the Danger Equipment website. It's made using a semi-leather, which is their version of a synthetic leather outside casing with a polyester satin liner on the inside of the hand compartment, and layered foam padding over the knuckles that I'd say is medium to soft in firmness. And these gloves are handmade in Thailand. Now this is going to be my first review of a Danger Equipment product, and my first impression when I first got these was that they're very nice quality. I like the look and the design of the Danger logo, or the Danger Equipment logo. And for a synthetic glove, semi-leather if you want to call it, they use a really nice high quality synthetic with this glove. And I also got their Mexican lace-up gloves as well, which I'm currently using and we'll do a review here on shortly. That's been in my rotation when I train. But was definitely pleasantly surprised with these gloves. I've seen them over the years, the brand, and there's so many brands out there. Obviously I've reviewed so much equipment and gloves, but this was on the list and I finally was able to get a hold of these and train with them. Now, this particular model to me is more of a traditional Thai style glove. And by that I mean Thai gloves usually are a little bit wider in the hand compartment, a little bit more stockier and short. And the kind of the signature with a Thai glove is going to be the shorter cuff that's rounded. Typically, a conventional boxing glove will have essentially a wrist support on the back, and then you have the inner wrist support on the inside of the wrist on the palm side. And typically it's not rounded, right? You have a flat cuff and then you have a flat padding on the palm side, where Thai style gloves, it's rounded and is typically shorter in that regard. Another thing that Thai gloves typically have more of compared to conventional boxing gloves is more padding around the palm area. And obviously with Muay Thai, you're dealing with a lot more types of strikes than you would in boxing. In boxing, you're just dealing with your two hands or your two fists, excuse me. In Muay Thai, you're dealing with much more, kicks, knees, elbows, and all of that. And then of course the clinch. And I personally don't have any experience with Muay Thai. I've seen it. I train at a gym that is a Muay Thai gym as part of my training, where I get to observe and watch. So I do know that with the clinch, the actual size of the glove, typically around the wrist section, is what they really need to have that full autonomy to get their hands around their opponent's neck and just to be able to kind of work their way through in a guard, right? So I think that's more important to have than a traditional boxing glove, where you don't have that same level of flexibility. Now, from a design standpoint, you do have that Danger logo, which I think looks really sharp. And the semi-leather on here has a satin finish. It's not metallic. I'd say it just has more of a kind of like a pearl-like finish. You have the green on there that looks really clean. You also have the gold, which is split horizontally on the bottom, and you can see it kind of angles upwards to the thumb. So I really like the design, just mainly because there's no other glove currently that really shares this particular look. So it kind of comes up and it splits all the way to the thumb. So you do have that color split between the purple and the gold, but the gold doesn't just stop. Typically the gold will stop right here, and then this will all be one solid color on the back, where they continued it all the way down across horizontally to this side. So really nice look when it comes to how they decided to use the colors. The back of the wrist, I say, is about a 3.5 inch Velcro strap. It says made in Thailand, Danger Equipment right there on the end of the Velcro tab in purple. On this side, it does have the weight 16 ounces. It says DE for danger equipment, semi-leather right there, and it has like 5 stars. So you have that, and you can see again just a rounded cuff, and then it kind of tapers upwards towards this little pocket right here in the middle. You do have a little bit of extra padding on this outside, I guess you can say the meaty part of your hand, right? And again, that's more for strikes like elbows and kicks and knees to kind of give you a little bit more protection. Obviously you have a split palm, so you have purple and then gold on the other side with a green piping around the base of the thumb. And then you do have some synthetic mesh. So I know a lot of you guys are not fans of that mesh, but this does have that both for the kind of like that breathability portion of the glove. And really, to be honest with you, I think they do that for some cost savings as well, right? You know, instead of using that full piece of synthetic, they integrate that in there. One thing I do like about that is that it gives you a little bit more flexibility and softness, being able to open and close your hand. The drawback is just, you know, mesh to me wears out really quickly, and eventually you can get a hole in there. And Velcro loves to grab onto mesh, and once it grabs on there and you peel the Velcro off, it ends up fraying all of that mesh. So you have that synthetic mesh. You also have ventilated holes on the inner part of the thumb with a green attached thumb right there as well. Opening the Velcro strap. Very strong Velcro on this. Has a good amount of grip and grabs. So when you go around and you put it on, I mean, it grabs on really nice and tight. The inside of the hand compartment, you also have the danger equipment tag on the inside there. And again, a polyester satin liner on the inside of the hand compartment. The wrist support on the rounded cuff, I'd say, is about an inch of firm density, like an EVA style foam that wraps all the way around the wrist right there. So yeah, overall, a really clean looking glove. Quality wise, for a synthetic, I think this glove is very nice. And again, you know, typically tie stock gloves are always pretty top notch when it comes to the craftsmanship and quality. So even for a synthetic, the synthetic feels really high quality in terms of the thickness. It does not feel cheap whatsoever. And the overall craftsmanship when it comes to the stitching, everything is done very clean. You know, I put these gloves on the scale. I think the left glove came in at 16.3 and the right glove was at 16.1 ounces. So in terms of weight, they're pretty much on point with weight, maybe just a hair over. They're well balanced, so you can grab the back and the front so you don't have a lot of slack on the middle section of the glove. But overall, very nice quality. Again, I know I mentioned the mesh palm. That's just, again, more of that, I guess you can say an entry level when it comes to that mesh, but they do have that on the palm right there. So not the biggest fan of that, but it is there. And again, I think that's just more or less for cost savings. But in terms of the stitching, you can see they do a really nice job, you know, for both gloves. And I'll put them next to each other so you guys can see it. So they do a really clean job in terms of the overall quality throughout the entire glove. On the edges, on the cuff, on the outside corners, everything looks really good. So overall, a really clean, well-built glove. Comfort-wise, putting my hand into the glove. Wrist support feels good. The length of the gloves feels good. It's not too long. And the thumb position is really nice. I think they give you enough room on the fat portion of your thumb to really fit your thumb in there comfortably. And I can make a fist and it doesn't pull down on the tip of the thumb. So I don't have any sensation of my thumb jamming when I land a punch with this. So it does feel really good. You have about an inch of foam on the back of your thumb that feels really comfortable. One thing I would have liked to see was the attached thumb be a little bit higher, because you can see that it kind of rakes outwards and doesn't really pull the thumb in. So if you're going to do that, if you're going to put an attached thumb, make sure that it's a little bit higher up and it kind of does its job, because right now, as you can see, it can kind of thumbs outwards. And you know, the possibility of that popping into someone's eyes, it's relatively low, but there's still a possibility of that happening. The areas that I think can use some work would be around this portion. There's a little bit of excess liner material that kind of bunches up right above the top of my fingers. And then you can also feel the stitching where the synthetic meets the mesh on the inside portion of the finger compartment right inside here, which it would have been nice if they had some type of neoprene or felt or just something smooth and comfortable to cover that stitching. The width of the hand compartment is perfect. Wide enough, but not too narrow, so my fingers don't crowd against each other. The gloves, I'd say, are semi-broken in when you first get them. It's going to take a little bit of time to break these in. They're not ultra stiff, but they're also not super soft and broken in. I'd say they're kind of right there in the middle. The grip bar on here, I also think could be larger. I feel like the grip bar, the firmness is good, it's just not large enough. And when I make a fist, it would be nice to be able to really feel that grip bar in my hand when I roll my hand over to make a fist, and with this one you just don't really get that sensation. So I feel like that grip bar could be larger instead of feeling kind of like an afterthought with this glove. But overall, very comfortable, minus a couple small minor issues that I feel like can be corrected. And same thing with this glove too. Just that liner, I think, is the kind of the big thing that really sticks out with me when it comes to the comfort of the gloves. And then obviously breaking them in to really soften them up. Protection and performance-wise, this is a training glove in my opinion for pretty much everything in the gym. And really that's a lot of Thai gloves, right? A lot of just your traditional Thai gloves, they're made really for everything in the gym. If you've ever seen or been to a Thai gym, they don't have gloves typically specifically for just bag work and for sparring. You'll usually see them use that same type of glove, whether it's Fairtex, Yokkao, Windy, Twins, whatever it may be. They'll use that same glove for pretty much everything in the gym. Now, don't get me wrong, there may be some exceptions where you see some guys use different gloves, maybe hitting the bag or whatnot, but just generally speaking, these are the type of gloves you could use for pretty much everything in the gym. Sparring, hitting the bag, doing mitt work, hitting the pads, whatever it may be. And the padding definitely allows for that. I'd say it's right there, again, medium to soft, so you get a good amount of feedback, but a good level of shock absorption and protection with this glove. It does give you that satisfying pop when you land a good shot with this glove, so it lets you know. Feels really good. I do feel confident really laying in with power with these gloves and not worrying about injuring my knuckles or my wrists, my forearm. So overall, protection-wise, it definitely does a really good job while giving you that feedback that you're looking for. Cost-wise, these gloves start at $60 for the 8-ounce. And as you go up in weight incrementally, it goes up, I think, by $2. So these 16-ounce ones, now let me just double check. So the 16-ounce versions I have here were $69. So basically 8-ounce is 60, 10-ounce is 63, 12-ounce is 65, 14s are 67. So yeah, pretty much goes up in $2 increments. I'm always kind of wary. I'm not a big fan of like big price increases when you go up in size. I see the reasoning behind it because it's going to cost, it's more material they have to use to build the glove. But if you're looking at it, you're looking at a $9 difference. I think that can probably kind of put some people off by that when they see a price increase by every 2 ounces they go up. They get kind of put off by that. But it's an incremental amount, and the fact that these gloves are so nice for the price of $69 for this 16-ounce weight, there's really not much more I can complain about with the gloves. So overall, for a nice synthetic Thai-style glove, I definitely think they really hit all the sharp points with this. I think there's a couple small little details they can iron out, but for the price that you're paying, a really good bang for the buck. So if you guys have any questions or comments, you guys know what to do. Put them down below. I'll put the link in the description box where you can find these Evolution 3.0 Thai-style boxing gloves. See you guys later. Peace.